My name is Samuel Yardyang, and today we're going to see Flexa 25 Circular. This is the ideal solution when we've got an indoor unit and we want to use motorized dampers to control multiple zones. To this, we'll be able to determine or view the quality of the air through our AQ sensor. We can activate our ionizers that are inside the dampers themselves, and we can include also the control of underfloor heating and radiators to the system. So now we're going to see each component that comprises the Flexa 25 Circular. In first stance, we have the actual control board, the central control board that comes in the box predetermined. We've got two options with regard to the web server. We can have the internal web server, or if we've got integration, it would be with the web server hub. Okay, following that, and that comes within the same system, we would have the AirQ sensor in itself. Okay, the AirQ sensor, remember, that is to determine the quality of the air in the stance. Okay, we can measure CO2, particles, and volatile and organic components. Obviously, we get cable to be able to do the connections between the central board and the AirQ sensor and other components. Then we've got our thermostats. The first thermostat that we always recommend to do the installation is the blue face thermostat. This thermostat is a touchscreen and it allows us to have a direct connection through cable, and this provides us a more stable communication. We also have our Think thermostat, which is a wireless thermostat that allows us to have it as a master thermostat as well. Remember that all of our thermostats can come in white or black, and we've also got different finishes for the perimeter of the thermostat. And finally, we've got our more basic line of thermostats, which is the Lead thermostat. This can be both cabled or wireless, and it will allow us to turn on and off the zone and then vary the temperature by 3 degrees up and down. Okay, and also the wireless version, okay, which would have the battery that comes in the box. Okay, the next component that we're going to visualize or see with regards to the installation is the actual gateway. So remember that on our website we have the possibility of confirming the compatibility, and this gateway would be connected to the central control board that we'll show you in a moment, and the connection is exactly the connection that you need for the specific manufacturer that you're ordering it for. Okay. Next, we're going to see our motorized damper. Remember that these motorized dampers for the Flexa 25 Circular come with the ionizer control. Okay, within the damper itself, it's got the ionizer. This negatively charges the particles in the air and makes them fall to the ground quicker, so we do not breathe them. Also, to remember that on the motor, we've got the two regulation levers to be able to control the maximum opening and closing of the motorized damper. Also, we need to remember that the new updated version has got an indicator of the if the damper is open or closed. And finally, to remember that the ionized motorized dampers always have to have a good earthing. The next components are additional to the solution, to the system. Okay, in this case, we've got the control board for the underfloor heating and cooling. Remember that we can have a maximum of 8 zones, but we can connect up to 20 valves for those 8 zones with our Flexa solution. Remember, it's important to consider the probe for the water coming into the installation on the collector, and then we need to make sure that we contemplate each one of the different components that we'll see later on in this video. When talking about the underfloor heating, we've got our own motorized dampers that are 220. Any motorized damper that has that 220 volt feed would be applicable for an EasyZone Flexa EasyZone 25 solution. Next, we see radiators. Okay, remember that when we want to incorporate the control of radiators, we're going to need the radiator module. Okay, this connects wirelessly with the valves themselves. Remember that if we have an issue with coverage of the range, we can change this antenna for our extended antenna. Then with regards to the valve itself, not only is it a valve, but it's also what we call a thermostatic valve. So we can use it in conjunction with a zone that's got a thermostat, but we can also use it as a standalone. So for example, in a hallway or in a bathroom, we could consider just the valve and it would provide us as well with the reading of temperature. Also, with regards to the different types of connectors that we might have in the radiators, it comes supplied with different necks to be able to do that connection. And finally, when we're talking about a solution with underfloor cooling or ceiling cooling, we need to consider the possibility of needing a dehumidifier, and we've got our dry module. Okay, this would be connected through our Modbus CAN or CAN bus to the central control board and all the other controlling elements. Now we're going to see in detail all of the different components that we need for a Flexa 25 circular installation. First of all, we're going to start with our control board. Okay, the control board in this case is bare, so we're going to show you all of the different components. We've got the power source. Continuing on from the power source, we've got the high and low temperature outputs. Then we've got all of the different relays for the motorized dampers. Okay, continuing from that, we've got the gateway communication. So this comes specific for the manufacturer that we're doing the installation for. Remember that on our website you can review the compatibility and make sure that we are compatible with that unit. The gateway itself is very easily installed into the control board and the connection is specific for that manufacturer. Continuing on from there, we have the web server. Okay, with regards to the web server, we've got the possibility of it coming specifically like this one, which is integrated into the control board when we order it, or we have the version that comes with the web server hub if we're going to do a higher level of integration. Okay, again, it's a very easy installation. Continuing from there, we've got the antenna. Just to the right of the antenna, we've got the micro switch to be able to open the channel to associate the different wireless thermostats. Then we've got the 3 inputs for the wired thermostats, and finally we've got our CAN bus cable. You can see that this installation, we have rotated it, okay, as a recommendation when we've got the wireless thermostats. This cable then is supplied to the indoor unit, okay, so we always recommend that the installation is done near the indoor unit, as the cable that comes with the control board, or sorry, with the gateway, has a specific length, but we can include more modules of the cable if needed. Okay, that said, it's always recommended to use the one that comes with the actual installation. Okay, continuing from there, with Flexa 25 circular, we have the added benefit of the AirQ sensor. Okay, huge benefit as we can read and measure all of the contaminants that we've got in the air. Okay, we recommend to install this in a common area, okay, of the building, because it allows us to read or measure the common airflow. With regards to the installation, if we're going to install it next to a thermostat, we would install it to one side or the other. Okay, we try and avoid installing it below or above, okay, as we can have a conflict with regards to the heat produced from one or the other with the sensors. Okay. In the box of Flexa, we also get the cable to be able to communicate with the AirQ sensor. Okay, the next important components with regard to the Flexa 25 circular is the actual circular motorized damper. Okay, we have the possibility of communicating with up to 8 zones. Okay, we have the control of the ionizers themselves. Okay, this blue device that we can see inside the damper itself. Okay, remember that when we ionize the particles, they negatively charge, and what it does is it makes them fall to the ground much quicker. Also, we have the motor itself, okay, with the regulation of maximum and minimum airflow with regards to the position of the damper. Okay, continuing from this, we have our thermostats, okay? We always recommend that the thermostats to be installed wherever they're going to be positioned. With regard to wireless versions, they need to be installed on the wall, okay? Although they're wireless, we do not recommend them to have them on a table or because at the end of the day you can put it in a drawer, you don't have correct reading and so on. So the different thermostats that we've got, is the first one that we've got is a blue face thermostat. It's our, let's say, more versatile thermostat. It's got a touch screen and it's a cabled thermostat. After that, we would have the Think thermostat. This is a wireless connection, and we can install this if needed as a master thermostat as well, but we do recommend having that blue face. And finally, we've got our Lead thermostat. The Lead thermostat allows us the possibility of a wired or wireless communication. Okay? So that would be the basic installation of the control of air of a multi-zoning system with Flexa 25. Additionally to that, we can have control of other different components of the HVAC installation. The first one we're going to view is the module for underfloor heating. Okay? With regards to the module, it connects to the rest of the installation through the CAN bus. As you can see, this is gives the possibility of a DIN mounting, or you can connect mount it on a DIN rail, as well as all of the other components that we're going to see after this one. Okay? So we have the power source for the module itself. Then we have the connectors for the valves. Remember that we've got 8 zones, but we can have up to 20 valves connected. Then we have the supply of demand. So we can have that for a recirculation pump, like we've got in this installation, where we activate the recirculating pump when needed for the underfloor heating, or if we've got heat production, okay? So if we've got an installation with a heat pump or something like that that we need to activate, we can do that through this relay as well. Continuing from that, we have the temperature probe for the actual collector itself. So as we can see in this installation, the actual probe is installed on the inside of the installation. And finally, again, as you can see, we've got the black CAN bus, okay? And this allows the communication between all of the different components. Then, when we've got the installation of underfloor cooling, okay, when we say underfloor cooling, it can be underfloor cooling or ceiling cooling, we need to take into consideration humidity, okay? So all of our thermostats that we've got, all the Airzone thermostats have the possibility of reading humidity. So this allows us to know what temperature and humidity percentage we need to consider for the dew point, okay? If we reach or start reaching that designated point, we can activate a dehumidifier through our dry module, okay? Again, DIN rail, CAN bus communication, very simple to install, and then we've got the possibility of communicating with a dehumidifier, its own power source as well. Okay, then if we have the installation of radiators, or we need the control of radiators, we've got our radiator module, okay, with the antenna. Remember that we can change this antenna for the one that brings cable, so we can position it closer or in a different position and give us stronger connectivity or a signal to the thermostatic valves. The thermostatic valves themselves are very like the name mentions, they're thermostatic, so it means that they read temperature as well. So it can be in an installation with one room, okay, and we can have assigned one or two or multiple radiators, but they can actually be standalone. So let's say we've got a bathroom where we've got a towel rack, or we've got a radiator in that bathroom. We don't want to have a thermostat, we just want to have the valve that controls the radiator. We can simply just use the thermostatic valve, and we can generate and we can change the temperature of the valve itself, okay? Again, it comes in the box, we've got the different links to be able to connect it to different types of radiators, okay? And it's a very versatile and easy to install component. So with that, we've seen all of the different components of a full Flexa 25, all of the different possibilities that we can have. Here we've got the mock-up installation in itself with regards to the DIN modules. As you can see, we get a very clean finish for the actual installation. It makes it much more user-friendly and the possibility of having the installation nice and clean. So here we can see the actual installation of multiple motorized dampers. It's very important to consider that the motors are facing downwards, okay, because we will need to regulate the maximum and minimum airflow, okay, and that can only be done if we have access to them. Also, it's important to consider the earthing of the installation, okay, that we have here. And also we can see that there's arrows on the actual piece of plastic here, and it shows the direction of the airflow, okay. Also, we have on the other side a symbol that shows when the installation or when the damper is open, and when the damper is closed, it would be in a vertical position. Here we've got our underfloor heating module. Okay, this is connected through the bus CAN cable to the central board and to the installation itself. Then on the left hand side we have the power source. Then we have all of the different valves that we can connect. Remember that we can do up to 20 valves with this output module, and we cable them in order, although we can afterwards assign different outputs to different zones if needed. Then after that we have the possibility of connecting through digital inputs a heat source or a circulating pump for the underfloor cooling or heating. And then finally we would have the possibility of connecting a temperature probe to the water coming into the installation. This is primarily for underfloor cooling or ceiling cooling to help to protect against condensation, but we can also use it to measure the temperature in heating and be able to visualize it through the Airzone Cloud app. Once we've done the installation and we need to open the channel for the radiator thermostats, what we need to do is press the button on the valve C, and then on the thermostat itself, what we do is a long press when we've got it on off, and that will assign the zone 4. Previously we had the other zones assigned, and from here we can then manipulate the thermostat as well. Once we have done the setup of the installation for the Flexa 25, what we're going to do next is the commissioning of the thermostats, or the configuration of the thermostats. So first we're going to select the language, in this case English, confirm. Then we're going to select the location, so in this case we're going to go to other, confirm, and then we confirm. The next screen we're going to see is to assign the zone. So each thermostat would be in a different zone. In this case it's the blue face thermostat, which we consider as the master thermostat, and we're going to associate it in this case to zone 1. Okay, once it's loaded, it's going to ask us if we want it to be a master thermostat or a zone thermostat. In this case we're going to choose the master thermostat. We confirm, and what we're going to do is associate the outputs where if we've got an underfloor heating, we would associate the outputs of that zone. In this case we confirm it as 1. We indicate that we want for cooling air, and if we want underfloor heating, underfloor cooling in this case, and then for heating if we want air and underfloor heating. Then we confirm. With this QR code we can link, or we can open the app on our mobile phone or tablet, and it would allow us to do additional configurations. When it asks us for basic function, we always leave it as off, okay, and we press end, okay. Then with regards to the Think thermostat, again it's very similar. We're going to select the language, so we go to English, we select the country, again we go to other, we confirm. Remember that the screen itself is not touch screen, we have to press the surroundings, okay. So in this case we're searching for the open channel. The channel itself we can open from the master thermostat, from the central control board, or from the application itself. When we're working with wireless thermostats, we need to open the channel to be able to do that linking between the system and the thermostats themselves. So here we can find the button to be able to open the channel. So if we can visualize, we've got just the green light. If we press it once, that opens the channel, okay, for a predetermined time. And then once we've done the linking of the thermostats, we can press it, or it would turn itself off on its own. The other two methods of doing the linking or opening of the channel is through the thermostats themselves or via the Airzone Cloud app. Now we're going to show how to open the wireless channel for wireless thermostats from the Blueface thermostat. What we need to do is the option button, we long press. We're going to get the options of going as a system or as a zone. We press system, and then we have the wireless module, and we can open and close it as desired, okay? In this case, we're going to leave it open. Once we have the Blueface thermostat and we've opened the channel, then we would be able to link a Think thermostat. In the case we don't have a Blueface thermostat and only a Think thermostat, okay, we would need to open it either from the application or from the central control board. But once we have one thermostat linked, what we can do is we long press the Airzone button. We're going to get another screen. We let go and then we long press again. And we go in as a system. In this case, we need to go to the next page, okay? And here we have radio channel. We press it and it changes to close or open. And then that would be enough. We would press the Airzone button again, it'll take us to the home screen, and it means that the channel would be either open or closed depending on how you configured it. It's very important that the location of the Think or any wireless thermostat is in the zone on the location where it's finally going to be, because we need to make sure that the signal is always above 30. We've already addressed the Blueface thermostat to zone 1, so automatically this shows us zone 2. We're going to confirm. Then we're going to associate output number 2, we confirm. Okay, when we're talking about air, in this case it would be cold, we can do it off or on, okay. And then if we have any advanced settings, we could do that now, or we could do it from the application. And remember, always the basic mode to leave it off. Okay, and then we arrive to the home screen. Finally, we are going to view our light thermostat. Remember that in the box of the thermostats, we get a little tool that helps us take the thermostats off the wall, okay, or off the mount. Behind the thermostats, or on the back face of the thermostats, we've got micro switches. We've got 8 micro switches. Remember that we can allow a maximum of 8 zones. In this case, we're going to associate it to zone 3. So we're going to activate the 3rd micro switch, okay? If this would be a battery powered or a wireless thermostat, what we do is we select the micro switch, then we add the battery. In this case, it's a wired, so once we've done the micro switch, what we do is we power it back on simply by positioning it back on its stand. It does 5 flashes to confirm that we've got a correct configuration, and that would be all of the thermostats configured. So what we're going to view now is the access of the installation through the Airzone Cloud app. We've already done the installation, we've done the commissioning through the Blueface and the other thermostats. Now we can access the installation. So we open the Airzone Cloud app. We've got various ways of accessing. This can be through Wi-Fi or through Blueface, through Web Server Hub. So what we can go to Configuration Wizard. We still do not have we have not created a site on our application, so that's what the process that we're going to do now. For that, we need to search devices. If we've got a Web Server Hub, we would have the information on the actual hub itself. If it's the internal web server, then we can access that information through the Blueface thermostat as we've done before. What we're going to visualize now is from the Blueface thermostat how to get the information with regards to the system and the MAC address. So we press the symbol of the little person, we would go to information and then to web server. And here we have all of the information with regards to the web server itself. In the case that you're talking to our technical support, they can ask you for this number at the bottom. In this case, we have here the installation. We've got the security pin to access. Okay, so this allows us to enter into the installation. In this case, what we want to do is we want to add the device. So we're going to go next, next, okay? And we don't want to assign it to a site that we already have. What we want to do is create a new site. In this case, what we're going to do is create the name of said site. So let's say we're going to call it Airzone test. Okay, location, for example, we can say London, UK. Then we can change the icon. In this case, we leave a house and we indicate that the type of site is a house. Finally, we can select into a range of colors. In this case, we change to blue and we finish. So that means that we've created through the web server access to the main page or the site. Another way of accessing the installation is if we access through Air Tools, okay? In this case, we can access directly through the Bluetooth device. Here we find the actual access point. Again, we would need to add the security pin. And we load into the installation through the Bluetooth, okay? In this case, we've got the 3 zones that we've created on the installation on an air, let's say, level. But it's indicating that we've got thermostatic heads that have not been assigned to zones. So what we can do is we can either include it into one of the existing zones, or we can create a new zone, for example, for a towel rack or a radiator in a hallway, in a bathroom, and so on. So what we can do is we can add a zone, for example, and we're going to say that it's the thermostatic head number 2 that we're going to link to the installation. And this is what it's doing, is it's linking to the zone, those thermostatic heads. Okay, and that would create zone 4. Finally, what we can achieve here is we have access to all of the information that we need in the installation. And if we go back to the main page, we've got it here, or we can go to our sites, okay, and access our installation from the app itself. We've got the 4 zones that we've created, the 3 zones of air and the one with the thermostatic valves. And then we have the AirQ sensor information here in itself. There are components of the installation as well that they are a plug-and-play system, where simply by connecting them to the bus CAN communication cable, they interact directly with the system, okay? We have the example of the AirQ sensor, okay? We have the possibility of the valve module, and down here we have the module for the underfloor heating. All of these different components that automatically, let's say, assigned to the system, we will be able to visualize in the Blueface thermostat, as we'll show you now. Once we've done the configuration of all of the thermostats, if we go to our master thermostat and we go to the little symbol of a person, if we go to information and devices, we can confirm all of the devices that are actually controlled or connected to our system. Okay, this allows us to make sure or confirm that everything that we have got installed is connected to the system and configured. By pressing out and the temperature gauge, we go back to the home screen. To finish this video, we would like to inform you as well that in the description of the video itself, as well as on our website on airzonecontrol.com, you'll be able to find additional information.